If every law on Earth was written with logic and common sense, this list wouldn't even exist. But here we are. From presidential campaigns that continue after death to bars that can legally serve minors, these are real-life legal loopholes that make you say, wait, how is that even allowed? Today we're counting down 25 legal loopholes that defy common sense. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next time the law gets weird. Alright, let's bend the rules. 25. When death doesn't stop a presidential campaign. Here's something wild. If a US presidential candidate dies after ballots are printed, but before the election there's no national rulebook for what happens next. Some states let the party replace the candidate, others keep the deceased name on the ballot anyway. It actually happened in 1872. Candidate Horace Greeley died after losing to Ulysses S. Grant, and his electors had no clue what to do. Some voted for him posthumously, others switched sides. To this day, there's still no clear plan if it ever happens again. 24. Human-animal hybrids. Yes, really. In 2021, researchers in California created human-monkey embryos. Not for fun, but to test whether animals could one day grow human-compatible organs. Sounds like science fiction, right? Here's the kicker, there's no federal law banning it. The National Institutes of Health won't fund these experiments, but private labs can legally continue. So yes, chimeras technically exist, and the law is still catching up. 23. Driverless cars and the lawless roads. Before regulations existed, Arizona opened its doors wide to self-driving car companies. Uber, Waymo, and others flooded in, until tragedy struck. In 2018, a self-driving Uber struck and killed a pedestrian in Tempe. There were no laws to define who was responsible, the car, the company, or the safety driver. Turns out Uber had even disabled the emergency brakes for smoother rides. By the time new laws were drafted, the damage was done. 22. California's early internet blind spot. In the late 90s, a California woman was relentlessly harassed online by her ex-boyfriend. He posted fake profiles, shared her address, and sent strangers to her home. The police? Completely powerless. There were no laws against cyberstalking back then. Her case sparked outrage, and by 1999, California became the first state to criminalize online harassment. Her suffering literally helped shape modern internet law. 21. Underage drinking. With permission in Wisconsin, teens as young as 16 can legally drink alcohol, as long as their parents are sitting with them and hand them the drink. Bars and restaurants allow it under state law, even though the national drinking age is 21. That said, throwing a teen house party with booze is still illegal, so don't get too inspired. 20. The moving train loophole. In the UK, you need a license to sell alcohol, unless you're on a moving train. A gin company once exploited this in 2018 by hosting a train bar on a vintage steam locomotive. Because the train was in motion, all their drink sales were perfectly legal, even without a license. Ingenious? Absolutely. Legal? Technically, yes. 19. Shark fins in Costa Rica. Costa Rica banned shark finning years ago, but the wording left a massive loophole. It said fins had to remain naturally attached to the body. One exporter kept the fins connected by a tiny strip of skin and argued it met the law's definition. Shockingly, the court agreed. Sometimes the letter of the law really does outweigh its spirit. 18. Trial by combat. Still legal-ish. Once upon a time, people could legally settle disputes with sword fights. Britain scrapped it in 1819, but the US never technically outlawed it. That means, in theory, someone could invoke trial by combat under the 9th Amendment's protection of unrevoked rights. In 2016, a New York lawyer even requested it in court, citing Game of Thrones for inspiration. The judge laughed him out of the room, but didn't say it was impossible. 17. Prosecutors charge stacking. Game prosecutors in the US can often choose which crimes to charge. That's how Al Capone, one of the most violent gangsters ever, ended up in prison for tax evasion, not murder. Some cases get padded with dozens of charges to pressure plea deals, while others are reduced to simple ones that are easier to prove. The result? The same crime can lead to wildly different outcomes. 16. Diplomatic immunity. Crimes without punishment. Under international law, foreign diplomats can't be prosecuted in their host countries. That's why UN diplomats in New York have racked up millions in unpaid parking tickets without consequence. And in one shocking case, a diplomat who killed a pedestrian while driving drunk walked free until his home country revoked his immunity. It's meant to protect politics, but sometimes it protects criminals. 15. Antique guns. Modern problem. Any firearm made before 1899 isn't legally considered a firearm under US federal law. That means you can order one online, ship it across state lines, and own it without a background check, even if it still fires bullets. It's history meets hazard. 14. Tribal jurisdiction. Gaps. Tribal courts in the US can't prosecute non-natives for crimes committed on native land. That loophole left thousands of violent crimes unpunished, particularly against Native women. Reforms in 2013 and 2022 fixed part of it, but even now, some offenses still slip through. 13. Supreme Court without ethics rules. Until 2023, Supreme Court justices had no binding code of ethics, unlike every other judge in the country. Gifts, luxury trips, private jets, all legal as long as they decided for themselves it was fine. Only recently did the court adopt an ethics code, but there's still no one to enforce it. 12. Congress and insider trading members of Congress can legally trade stocks in industries they regulate. Even after the 2012 Stock Act, the only punishment for breaking disclosure rules is a $200 fine. No one's ever been prosecuted under it. So technically, your elected officials can trade on insider info and get away with it. 11. Child marriage in New Hampshire. Until 2018, girls as young as 13 and boys as young as 14 could get married with a judge's approval. It took until 2023 for New Hampshire to finally ban the practice completely. And yes, some lawmakers originally opposed raising the age. 10. Tax-free cruise ships. Most cruise lines dodge taxes by registering their ships in countries like Panama or the Bahamas. They operate in U.S. waters but pay almost no U.S. taxes and hire low-wage foreign crews. The trick? Flags of convenience. It's perfectly legal under maritime law and saves companies billions. 9. Escaping extradition. Some fugitives simply move to countries that won't send them back. Director Roman Polanski fled to France in 1978 and has lived freely ever since. France and Poland refused to extradite him, and Switzerland eventually let him go. Moral of the story: pick the right country and the law can't touch you. 8. Prison labor loophole. The 13th Amendment outlawed slavery except as punishment for a crime. That single clause made forced prison labor legal. Inmates today still work for cents an hour or face punishment if they refuse. Technically not slavery, but uncomfortably close. 7. Travel hacks gone wild. In the early 2000s, travel hackers found ways to stack promo codes on booking sites like Expedia, add a currency glitch, and people scored 5-star hotels for pocket change. Eventually, the loopholes were patched, but for a while, luxury vacations cost less than a Big Mac. 6. Unlimited presidential pardons. The US president can pardon almost any federal crime. The only limit? They can't use it for impeachment. No one knows if a president can pardon themselves. It's never been tested. Until then, it remains one of the most powerful legal tools in the world. 5. Illegally found evidence gets tossed. Even if police find solid proof of guilt, if it was obtained illegally, it can't be used in court. This exclusionary rule protects citizens from unconstitutional searches, but yes, it also means guilty people sometimes go free. 4. Donor confusion in Oklahoma. Until 2020, Oklahoma had no clear law about artificial insemination. That meant divorcing couples could end up in court fighting over child support for donor-conceived kids, with judges relying on 1960s-era language. Thankfully, a new law now requires written consent and court oversight for assisted reproduction. 3. Same-sex marriage in Massachusetts. When Massachusetts legalized same-sex marriage in 2003, it wasn't because of new laws, it was because old ones never mentioned gender. That missing word, man or woman, turned into one of the most important legal loopholes in American history. 2. Japan's not gambling. Game gambling is illegal in Japan, except it's not. Pachinko arcades get around the law by awarding prizes instead of cash. Then, just outside, another store, legally separate, buys those prizes for money. So, technically not gambling. Practically, it's Japan's biggest gaming industry. 1. Religious headgear, even colanders. In most US states, religious headwear is allowed in driver's license photos. Turbans, hijabs, yarmulkes, all fine. But one Massachusetts woman pushed it further. As a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, she argued her faith required wearing a metal colander. And after appealing with support from the Humanist Association, she won. Her driver's license now proudly features a pasta strainer. And there you have it, 25 legal loopholes that make you wonder how our world is still functioning. Now tell me, which one shocked you the most? Drop your pick in the comments below. And while you're here, check out our next video, 25 clever loopholes that forced companies to rewrite the rules. You'll love how creative people can get when bending the system. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because trust me, the next list will make you question reality all over. Thanks for watching, and remember, always read the fine print.